Right, well, like our anthem protest, divisive to a locker room.
Yeah, I certainly have made my point clear that I agree with John Lynch. I think this is divisive. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's proper for sports.
Okay, this is something that drives me crazy about the media. John Lynch, Stanford guy, said it's divisive. The media has its agenda set. They have no interest in actually listening to what people say. Divisive, tending to cause disagreement. How can you deny, by that terminology, right, description, the Game of Thrones is divisive? He simply said it's divisive. Hey, media, look the word up. Of course it is. We're not saying there's a side you have to take. Of course it's divisive. How can you criticize John as a Stanford grad for saying, yeah, it kind of divides people? Well, yes, that's why Pete Carroll and Michael Bennett, they don't agree on it.
And I mean,
drives me nuts.
And he said a lot of other things about the locker room. And in the locker room, I think it is a melting pot. And it's, you know, all of us, you know, you have people from all over, different walks of life, religious beliefs, economic backgrounds, and football is all about bringing that together. It's a study of the human condition being inside a locker room. I always said that. Is this divisive? Yes, but no more than a free agent coming in, getting a big contract and not playing well.
Yeah, it is.
No more than someone paying, you know, this starter that you're counting on, and he is not balling out. His head is somewhere else. There are guys, that's divisive in a locker room. There are a lot of different issues guys get bothered by when you spend that much time around one another and you have expectations.
Wars have been fought over racial division, not over bad free agents.
You know what? This subject has to be divisive. It has to be divisive because in order to affect change, you've got to make those that are in a position of power feel uncomfortable. And if they're not uncomfortable, they're not going to change. They'll just keep floating along in life with things the way that they are, okay? I don't like the tone of what John Lynch is purporting here. I don't like it at all, okay? It's okay for them to have their beliefs and their thoughts, but I don't think it's that way. What side of your neck?
Have a right?
What side of your neck are you talking out of? Because he said one thing over here and said something completely different on the other side.
Well, no, this is what I'm going to get at, and this is what I have to say. If I think if Cap and Marshawn has the right to sit down, if any guy, if Michael Bennett has the right to say what they want to say, then John has the right to say what he wants to say.
Absolutely.
I have no problem with that. Now, the question of this being divisive within the locker room, I don't think so. You're talking about society in a whole. This doesn't tear up a locker room, a guy having some type of
I know the 49ers were terrible last year, but why did Cap get the leadership award? Why did he get all of these things? Why was his teammates backing him if what he was doing was so divisive?
Because they were a terrible team and they didn't care.
Come on.
No, I think in some places it led to dialogue. I think it actually...
I think it did.
Because there are guys that you know how that is. There are guys that you play with that you don't know, and this gives you something to talk about.
Doesn't mean, though, I'm just going to go back to good business for the NFL. And this is where John Lynch can't go all the way there because it's not his job. He wants to be a general manager. He's got to attract players. But in the media, we can go there, and I can certainly go there. This is bad business. I'm telling you. Listen, I think we're going to see more fights in the stands than ever before. And there'll be people in the stands. You know what? I'm joining these players, and I'm sitting down. And there's going to be someone drunk in the stands. Why are you sitting down?
But there's going to be someone drunk in the stands all the time.
There will be fights over the national anthem. It'll start in the parking lot. Look, people's expectations used to be, I'm going to a game, it's the weekend, I'm not going to think about anything important. I'm going to go out here and get drunk, I'm going to overeat, and I'm going to watch my team play. Now, we're going to the game. Maybe debating Donald Trump and race in the parking lot. Once we get into the stadium, maybe debating the national anthem and the guy in the Kaepernick jersey who's in my face or I'm in his face.
And then the game starts and you pay attention to the game. And what's wrong with having those other conversations and discussions? That's what we need to have.
Let's go back. John Lynch said, I think it's divisive. It is divisive.
No question.
Divisive free agent. Now, are racial divisions worse than free agency? I think they tend to be. Listen, if you talk about race, people get heated.
Very.
more than a free agency.
Yes.
But division in a locker room.
But
locker rooms are built on conflict.
If you're on this football team and you're buying into we need to win a championship, nothing divides that because you're there to work, to do what you got to do, and then you leave. Okay.
Let me tell you what divides that. Let me give you real life examples of what divide that. Did you call my girl last night? She told me you called her. That causes division in the locker room. You've seen that.
Right.
Yes.
Racial division, racial arguments. There are things that can break that up. And when you're the coach, you're the general manager, and you want the single focus to be on winning. Hey, man, don't call his girl. Hey, man, let's don't argue politics and race in here because it potentially can get explosive and lead to real division.
Jason, those are apples and oranges. They're apples and oranges. The players aren't in the locker room debating whether they should stand and protest. Some players don't like it. They don't outwardly condemn their teammates for doing it.
And whether you talk about it or not, it's still divisive. If you are playing with a guy that you know is racist, and I played with guys that we know that were racist, and guys talked about it, and it was one of those things when it wasn't publicly known, you still had that issue. So they're just talking about it now.